Hey everyone, I can't believe that it is Easter already. I had a different video prepared for you, and then last Sunday it was Palm Sunday, and I was like, oh my goodness, next Sunday is Easter, and I can't let this moment pass by without taking some time to really focus on the cross and on what Jesus has done for us. So I hope you enjoy this video. Please hit subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. I like to use mixed media art to spend time with God. I am a Christian, I love Jesus, and if you do too, then join me and spend some time finding out how you can use your creativity to pray, to worship, to have intimacy with God. Okay, here goes. So I've just been watching the Gospel of John film on Amazon Prime, I think it is. If you have it, then check it out. And I'm sitting down with the intention of creating something to meditate on Holy Week, on the events leading up to Jesus's death. And I'm starting with applying some paint using a sponge today to create some texture, and I'm thinking already that this is a landscape picture. It's going to be a landscape picture, that this is Jerusalem. It's a hot dry landscape. So I'm mixing together two colours here, titanium buff and another one that I can't say, that's from Golden. I'll have to put that up on screen, I think. And yeah, I'm kind of pondering the whole journey of Jesus coming down from heaven in the nativity story that we celebrate at Christmas, and his whole life leading up to the cross. And that's kind of what this scribbly pencil mark is trying to represent as I'm thinking about that. We celebrated Palm Sunday on Sunday, and I was thinking about how riding into Jerusalem on that donkey was really lighting the fuse for the crucifixion. So although it was a happy, amazing time, Jesus knew that actually it was the beginning of the end for him. And that what motivated him to go on that journey, to walk into what was going to be extreme pain and suffering. And obviously love is part, if not all of that answer. And this is a bit of collage paper. I think I've used it before in these 10 minutes of trusting videos, where I wrote out some of the verses in Corinthians about love, what love is. Love always hopes, love never fails, I'm sticking down. Love perseveres. And I'm sticking these down to help create some texture, to create some features in the landscape. But I'm thinking about, as I do that, how Jesus's road to the cross showed these attributes of love. He showed perseverance. He showed that love never fails in going through with what he knew and what was extremely painful, awful journey resulting in his death. He was showing that his love was big enough that it would never give up on us. I'm adding in some darker colour at the bottom now, thinking about even as a baby when Jesus came to earth, he was giving up heaven. He was giving up. Can you imagine being in heaven and giving that all up? I mean, that in itself is going to be pretty awful, being born in a dirty stable and being subject to a human body. And I mean, that is a pretty horrendous thing in itself, no doubt. The eventual suffering and death is just the culmination, really, of what he knew when he left heaven. He knew that he was accomplishing something so precious that what looked like suffering for him somehow, it was suffering for him, but it was also joy. The Bible says in Hebrews that for the joy set before him, he endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. And this was the revelation that I was getting in this piece. I was just pondering this contradiction that his journey was pain and suffering and grief, and yet there was this joy set before him that motivated him to persevere. Love perseveres, it never gives up. It was the joy of heaven, I think. He knew he was going. I was listening to all that stuff in John about I'm going back to the Father. So he knew where he was going. Do we have that same conviction that when we die, we know where we're going, so that we can look forward to that crazily. We can look forward to what is beyond death. And also the joy that came from knowing what he was achieving. He was winning us. He was winning our salvation. He was rescuing us. So I'm sticking down some thread now. It's a lovely heavenly blue teal colour that comes down from heaven on one side, gets in a terrible tangly mess and makes its way back up to heaven. I'm adding some gold stickers to add the word joy behind the Mount of Crucifixion. I wanted to add this splash of red spray ink to represent Jesus's suffering, his passion. And when I did so, it came out as this heart. I wasn't expecting it to be a heart shape, but isn't that beautiful that the shape of his suffering is love? And I'm just managing to add a little cross on the top of the hill there. So there we go, folks. I hope you have a really good Easter, and I hope you manage to take 10 minutes just to think about what Jesus did for us on the cross. Please hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next week. God bless.